For lesson 6.2, we are subtracting fractions with unlike denominators, still using our fraction bars. So if we start with, say, 3/4 minus 1/8. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing I did with my addition. I'm going to start with my whole, and I'm going to pull out my 3/4 to start with for my first fraction. So I have 1, 2, 3. Now today, though, instead of adding the 1/8 on the same line that the 1/4 is on, I'm going to put it underneath because I want to find the difference. I want to find this part right here. Okay, what this difference part is, because of course we are subtracting. So in order to do this, we're going to do very similar to what we did with the addition. I'm going to then place in my eighths, and I'm actually going to put them underneath. It's not quite lining up the way I want it to. So let's do this. I'm going to mark that one purple as being my first one. That's already there. That's what I'm subtracting. So now I need to figure out how many would be the difference. So there they are. That's what lines up underneath that purple that I had originally put there. So my difference, my 3/4 minus my 1/8 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my difference, it's very bright, is 5/8. Okay, do you guys see how we did that? We started with the 3/4, the 3 yellows, and we took away 1/8 of that, so we had to find out what the remaining space could hold, what would fill that remaining space for them to be equal. Okay, let's try another one. So we're going to pull out our whole again, because we always start with our whole. And let's work with the problem 2/3 minus 1/6. Okay. So I'm going to do it the same way. I'm going to pull out 2/3. There's 1/3. And there is 2/3. And I am taking away 1/6. So now I need to find out what will fill this remaining space. Okay, what is the difference between 2/3 if I've already taken a 1/6 away? So I'm going to, oops. Let's erase that red. Okay, so now using our 1/6 still, let's figure out how many fill in that space, that difference. And if you look underneath the red, it was 1, 2, 3, 6 fills in that difference. Okay, now I don't just have to use 1/6 though. Even though we started taking away 1/6, I can fill in that red missing difference space with other fraction strips. They just have to equal that same difference. So what if I try 4ths? Well, if I look right there, I see 2/4 equal, let me take those dots out of there. 2/4 equals that same space that 1/6 equaled. You guys see that? So I could also get the answer 2/3 minus 1/6 equals 2/4. Let me try something else. Let me try an 1/8. See if I can fill that same space using 8s. Now remember, it has to be filled in completely. Oh, now look at that. It fills in that same amount of space. So I could do 2/3 minus 1/6 also equals 4/8. Okay, so any of these 3/6, 2/4, or 4/8 are all acceptable answers because they all fill in that difference in that space when we took away 1/6 from 2/3. All right, so for today's lesson, you're going to still be using the fraction bars. You can refer back to yesterday's lesson, 6.1, for the printable fraction strips, or the app, or the online one if you want to kind of move them around as you're doing them. But remember, for your assignment, in order to earn full credit, you do need to be drawing your fraction bars on your workbook page. If you need extra space, just work in your math journal.